Hello everyone, it's Almighty Swan here, and I want to do my final thoughts on Alone in the Dark remake. So the remake that came out earlier this year, and I have opinions about this entire game. So obviously I'm going to give you the good, I'm going to give you the bad, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts and should you pick up this game, should you not pick up this game. And we'll also discuss some of the things at the end too about this game and the company itself. So that's just the way it is. So let's get into the good. The good thing is I do enjoy the atmosphere of this game. I think it's really weird. It's just one of those style of games that you really don't know what's going on 90% of the time. And I am perfectly fine with that. This game really keeps the atmosphere up the entire time. There's a lot of mystery behind on what's going on. And then the things that you end up doing with Edward or Emily really kind of paints a picture of itself on, like, who's going batshit crazy. I'm not going to spoil the game, but who's kind of going batshit crazy. Is it both? Is it one? Who knows? But I generally enjoy that. I do think the gunplay is not bad at all. I was using keyboard and mouse. I think the keyboard and mouse is controls are really good. But I could definitely see someone playing this with a controller because of, you can see right there that you would press 1, 2, 3, and that is all the weapons you have. With a controller, you would just press down on the D-pad or side D-pad and just play it that way. But overall, I do think this game is generally, like, fun. I do think it's interesting. I think it definitely kept me going through the long haul. Sadly, there is a lot more negatives than there are positives about this game. And before I say anything, this is no disrespect to people that made this game. I know what ended up happening. We'll discuss it later. But one of the negatives is there is sometimes a lot of frame rate drops. You'll notice it probably in this video. I had the settings on high. My computer can obviously run this game on high. And there was just times that the game just felt sluggish. It didn't feel like the game was keeping up with what I was doing the entire time. And I do think that's just somewhat things I need to mention. I was capping this game at 60 FPS. I don't know if you uncap it, it would be a lot better. You'll see me go through the settings and stuff like that. But the other one is that there were some audio issues, at least on my end, that whenever there was too much stuff happening at once, things would collide with each other, and it would just make this horrible racking noise in my headset. So I do want to mention that there are some audio issues among all of that. There was also some graphical issues with this game. There's one point that you will see just a texture gone and you think you're going to fall through the ground. That's not the case, but the thing is that there is some texture pop in. This starts happening later in the game. It's like the beginning of the game is pretty well stabled, and then at the end of the game, it just is not able to keep the game stable at all. And that's not a good thing. There are some other things that I didn't enjoy about this game either. The one thing is that I wish I could press M for map. I went through the settings eventually, and you will see that I look for a map key. I'm so used to any game that you just press M, the map shows up, and you press tab or you press M again to get out of the map. You have to press I, go into maps that you see on the screen right over here, and now you're allowed to use the map, and then you can tab out of that. It is just a very long process, and I know it's only a couple of keys, and I didn't mind it But I know some people will get frustrated with that of like, why can't I just not press M for the map? Understandable. It's like if you want to see objectives, you have to press I and then go into objectives. If you want to go into investigations, you have to press I into investigations. I had to at least set it for I on my keyboard. Same thing goes with the other one. That you could have just said M is for map, O is for objectives, I is for investigation, and kind of give you more of an option for that just generally. That being said, there is one other good thing that I did enjoy about this game. I think the array of cast of characters, I got to mention this earlier, is really good. And I really enjoyed the array of characters. I think they were all unique. I think they're all really good. But that being said, the story is very confusing. And I generally don't understand what is happening in Alone in the Dark 90% of the time. But it kept me engaged because I wanted to know what happened with both sides of the story and stuff like that. Now, to me, I enjoyed Emily's story a lot better than Edward's story. And that's just, and you know, and I did play all the way through Edward's. I thought Edward's was okay. I thought that he was generally just a decent story. I think they put a lot of effort on Emily's story because of the connections she has to the house. And I think that just brings more of an element to her story that the private detective doesn't really have that really well. And that's just me just saying that and what I think about it. That being said, and that's all the good, that's all the bad that I really think about the game. There might be some other issues with the game that I don't remember very well. I will say this game is also really short. Now, the issue with this game is that, small spoiler, but not a huge spoiler, it's not story spoilers. If you play Edward's story first, and then you play Emily's, you do not know what's going on if you never played this game before. And so you end up doing the same exact stuff that you did in Edward's story that you did in Emily's story, just the story is drastically different, and there's more cutscenes with Emily. That being said, because they are literally the same levels, except for, like, Chapter 4 in both games, you'll see what I mean. But from Chapter 1 to 3, it's literally mirroring the same thing. And I think if you did Edward's and then Emily's, Emily's only took me 4 hours, while Edward's took me 7 hours. So almost 8 hours. It took me less than 4 hours to, it took me 4 hours less to finish Emily's story because it was literally mirroring itself. That's the only other bad thing, but it can also be a good thing because if you just wanted to go into Emily's story and just experience it for yourself, I do think playing Edward and then Emily's makes a lot more sense to do. But that's pretty much it from the good and the bad. Here's my honest thoughts about this game. I don't think this game is a bad game, but I don't think it's the best horror game ever. There was multiple times that I did play while I'm playing this game that I sat there and I'm like, you know what? This game isn't theoretically the best. It is possibly, you know, some people will say an average game, an above average game, maybe a slightly above average game. That's just the way it is. But I don't give like scores to it. You can obviously go to my backlog.com to see what I give the score to. Link in the description down below for that one. But generally, I did enjoy the game. I do think that you should buy it. I think the game is good enough for like a good sell. I did buy this game for $30. I know this game came out at like $60. I think 30, 40 bucks is a good price point for this game. It is definitely a AA horror game, and that's just the way it is. Now, that being said, I do want to preference that we'll probably never get an Alone in Dark 2, mostly because the studio got shut down, and that's kind of saddening because they did like work really hard on this game, and they were trying to make the best remake that they possibly can. But obviously, Embracer Group, once again, I have sustained for that company at this point, decides to shut them down because this game only sold 30,000 copies in the first week. And to be honest, that's generally good for some horror games. 30,000 copies is not bad. But you also released it in the middle of March. Persona 3 Reload just came out like a month ago. Some people were playing that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth literally just came out even like a couple of weeks before that. And playing a horror game in the middle of March is not ideal to do. This game should have been released maybe this year in October, giving them a little bit longer to develop the game, get the bugs out, get all the issues out on PC, and then you can move on to something like Alone in Dark 2, but that's never going to happen. So I want to say thank you for all the developers that did make this game. I did enjoy it. I think that y'all kind of got just screwed out on a sequel for this game, and I think that you could have done Alone in the Dark 2 and make that one justice too, but oh well. But that's just the way it is, I guess, in the gaming industry, and it sucks that this shit can happen. Anyway, I hope everyone enjoyed my final thoughts on Alone in the Dark. Tactically, whenever you see this is going to be my final Schwanaween thoughts. You might see one more for Still Wakes the Deep, mostly because I kind of forgot to upload that one, or I forgot to record it. But if you don't, then this is probably going to be the last one. Some things obviously changed for Schwanaween, and we're going to end up doing the changes over than what we were planning on doing. But that's fine. But anyway, I hope you, like I said, hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like the video, even though you're going to hear it again at the end of this video. Anyway, hope everyone has a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye! Hello everyone, if you like this video then don't hesitate to check out the channel, where I upload my playthroughs, thoughts on games, and many other videos based around video games. If you want to see when the next video goes up, then don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Hope everyone has a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!